Hi guys, today I'm going to make one of my daughter Cassidy's favorite meals, chicken breast stuffed with feta cheese, and then I'm going to make some couscous on the side. Super simple, super fast. It's a Middle Eastern pasta basically, and I have my little multicolored, tricolored couscous here, and I got this great variety of artisan lettuces for 99 cents at my local Save Mart. And I'm going to make a salad that's going to have some oranges and some pomegranate seeds in it. So I hope that you like this recipe. Super simple, super fast, and it's also a clean eating recipe. Not that I intended it to be, just kind of happened that way. Need something a little bit light and refreshing for dinner. So here we go. I have a boneless, skinless chicken breast that I rinsed off, and I'm going to go ahead and slice a slit in it here. You can do it on either side. We'll go this way because this has a little bit of a tenderloin on it, and it can fall off like the other one is going to when I cook it. You're just making a little pocket, not super big, and I went ahead, saw how I did that, I butterflied it. Didn't go all the way, okay? And then I have a piece of plastic wrap and this trusty little mallet here. And this is an antique from like way back in the day. It was in the old house that we lived in, and I brought it along with us. And just flatten it a little bit. It doesn't need to be too much, pounded too much. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't need to be flattened too much. And then I'm going to go ahead and put those in the bowl. Let me rinse off my hands real quick, Cassie. Always be careful not to cross-contaminate. You don't want to get sick. I'm going to go ahead and cut this lemon. And I know there's chicken there, but this lemon is solely going to be used in this chicken, so I'm not going to be cross-contaminating anything. I'm going to go ahead and squeeze some of that on my chicken here. Like that. Make sure you don't get any seeds in there. You don't really want to eat a fried seed or anything. Then I'm going to put a little bit of my light olive oil just to coat the chicken a little bit. Not marinating it per se for a long time. Just giving it a little bit of a prep so that when it enters the pan, it's already got a nice coating of oil on it. And I'm going to add some spices to that chicken before I stuff it all up. Some garlic powder, one of my favorites. Some parsley because it'll make it look pretty. Actually, I can go ahead and use this no salt seasoning, which I really like when I'm cooking food. 99-cent store. And I have a little bit of sea salt. If you want to add more pepper, you can. There's quite a bit of pepper on there already if you're using like a Mrs. Dash or something like that. And just kind of coat those like so. So they have some seasoning on all sides. And when they don't, add some extra. Whoops, I took off everything. It's alright, I'm getting to the end of this anyway. That looks good. And what I have here is some crumbled feta cheese, and that's probably, I'd say, about a half a cup of feta cheese. And I also bought plain feta cheese. If you can buy basil with sun-dried tomatoes or some fancy schmancy one, it's even better. But since I'm on a budget, I went ahead and just bought plain and added some parsley to it. So we're going to stuff these babies. You can see where the tenderloin separated here. And I also separated this feta cheese from the package because of cross-contamination. So we know we're going to be putting our hands in the same thing here. So you want to stuff your chicken breast with a little bit of that feta cheese. I have 3 here. You could probably actually serve 6 people with this. I don't think we'll eat it all. We may. It depends on how hungry we are. I know I haven't eaten all day, so probably the girls haven't really eaten too much either. Because this is actually probably a double serving of protein here for you clean eaters out there. Serving the protein should be the size of your palm, so it's like 2. Okay, so we got all the rest of that feta in there. Pat that puppy up. If you don't feel comfortable cooking your chicken with the slit in it, you're afraid it's going to ooze out, make a mess, whatever, put a toothpick on it. And if you have a George Foreman grill, these are badass in there. They're so good. I don't have my George Foreman grill anymore. It kind of went out on me. Can't wait to get a good one. But this is a perfect recipe for the George Foreman grill. You would go ahead and just put this on the grill and cook it through till it's done. So, super simple, super fast. Oops. Alright. So now, I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil. You want to come over to this side? I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in my cast iron pan, which is just as good as a George Foreman grill, and probably has some extra health benefits that a George Foreman grill doesn't. And this is a super quick dinner. All you're waiting for basically is the chicken to cook through. You have maybe 15-20 minutes for your chicken to cook. And that time you can make your salad and your couscous. And I know it's hot because it's been on for quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just put my chicken in. Try not to overcrowd your pans. But oh well. I want to get them all done. I need a little tiny bit bigger pan. So while that's cooking, and I have it on a medium-low flame, you're going to basically sear each side of that chicken. You want to slap a lid on it to help it cook through. That's a good idea. Keep it nice and moist. And then at the end you can crisp up the outside of your chicken. Grab this plate. Then I'm going to show you how to do your couscous and your salad. Let me get all this stuff put away and we'll be right back. While my chicken is cooking, take a peek at that. It's almost done. I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for about another 5 minutes. It's been cooking for about 6 minutes or so. And then I'll turn it and cook it on the other side. I have a pomegranate, which are one of my favorite fruits. Messy, but one of my favorite fruits. Look at that juice, man, that's beautiful. I love pomegranates before they became the thing to eat, which is what they are now. Not only are they high in antioxidants and other great vitamins like vitamin C, but they're pretty. And the myth behind them is that this fruit was originally white. This is a Greek myth. And that I don't know the names of the characters in the story, but I don't want to get it on my shirt. Championship shirt. But I should learn to wear aprons. This fruit was originally white in the myth. So what the story goes that basically an unrequited lover of some god or goddess or whoever wasn't getting the love she needed from said person or said man or woman. I don't know if it's female or female. Anyway, they sat under the tree and they killed themselves and they died. And their blood turned this pomegranate the beautiful crimson red it is today, supposedly. I like that story because I like tragic romantic stories. So every time I eat a pomegranate, I'm reminded of that from, God, what was my teacher's name? I see his little bug eyes. Mr. Oh, God, I can't think of his name. He was our mythology teacher in high school, and if you Mr. Bufford! Yes, Mr. Bufford. I love that man. He was too much. Anyway, I'm just going to make a really simple salad and use some greens that I got in that little 99-cent basket. Save Mart, and orange and some pomegranate seeds. Isn't that pretty? I mean, look at how pretty that looks. That color, man. Just peel your orange when you're going to take it and cut it into segments. I'm not doing very well at this, apparently. I don't have my cutting board down for this, but my counter's clean, rest assured. I wouldn't try to salmonellize my kids. So I'm just going to throw those slices in there, and if there are seeds, remove the seeds, of course. Don't put any of that bitter pith in because it's not going to taste good at all. I'm just not having a very good time doing these oranges, apparently. So anyway, you get the idea. You're going to put segments of orange in. Another thing you could probably add that would be really good is some pecans, which we do have, but I don't have time to shell those. Just to make something a little bit different. So I'm going to break off these lettuces, put them in the bowl, and make a nice, easy, and we should come to the light here, pretty, colorful salad. I already washed these. If you have a salad spinner, do that because water really drains your lettuce, makes it wilted. And these were, you know, obviously reduced because they were sitting there for a while, but they were just so pretty. They were looking at me on the shelf saying, "Buy me. Make a healthy salad for your family." And I'm not one to pass up pretty fruit or vegetables. So, gorgeous. This is a Tanner and Antle lettuce producer. Really pretty. Okay, so I want those oranges to come around and show through. And these flavors are going to work really well with your saltiness of your feta. So just get it ready for your table like that, and then toss it right before you serve it. Simple, super simple salad. Okay, let me clean up my lovely mess here. And be very careful with pomegranates. They do stain clothing, so when you're cutting it, be very careful. You don't want to ruin some treasured piece of clothing. So, here we go. There's a lot of liquid in here, and I'm just going to actually let it cook down in this on the other side. Flip it, and it will brown. Beautiful. Give it about another 10 minutes just for the browning process. It's pretty much probably cooked all the way through. So I'm going to turn my heat up a little bit, more to a medium-high flame. Cook all that liquid down, reduce it. Something flew out of my mouth. I wonder if it made it into the shot. And CousCous. Super simple CousCous. I'm going to make that in a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. I can't remember the... You know, I was looking online about the liquid ratio for CousCous, and you know what? They are full of shit, people! You know what? I'm going to use a 1-to-1 ratio of my liquid to my CousCous. And if it's too dry, then I'll let you know. But there's a trick to keeping it moist. Basically, those little beads of pasta are going to absorb this broth, And if you use a broth, it's going to have that much more flavor. If you want to add a little bit more flavor, you can do that also by adding some finely diced vegetables. Oh, this is the burner that's jacked up. Like zucchini, carrot, etc. I'll do my trick light there. So basically what you're going to do is let this boil. Here we are with my liquid for my CousCous. I added a little bit of salt and a little bit of garlic just to bump it up a little bit and give it some flavor. And we're pretty much just about ready to add the CousCous. So you're going to want to turn this off completely. And you're going to want to pour that CousCous in. Spread it around. Simple little stir. And slap a lid on it. Or a plate, whatever you have that's nice and flat. And here's that chicken the way that I want it. It's got that nice brown on it now. Beautiful. I couldn't resist trying to make this glaze for these because I just, hit me at the moment, pomegranates, and I do have honey and red wine pomegranate, and the sweetness of that honey on the feta stuffed chicken breast is probably going to be a really great combination, so I'm going to make that. I used a 1/3 cup of honey, 3 tablespoons of pomegranate red wine vinegar, and I've got a little bit of the juice from my fresh pomegranate and added it in there for color. And then I'll probably throw some fresh pomegranate seeds in at the end before I plate it, or on top. Sorry, I had a little bit of a problem, and that's perfect. It's just right to put onto the chicken. And here's the finished CousCous. You let it sit for about 5 minutes. Fluff it with that fork. And if it's too dry for you, you can add a little bit of olive oil, which I think I'm going to do, if it's going to match your meal. And kind of does, because it looks like we have a little Middle Eastern flair going on here. And I'm going to plate it up and serve my kids.